Shohei Ohtani has always been one of the most fascinating athletes in sports. Fans know him for crushing home runs, stealing bases, and throwing triple-digit fastballs. But what we're seeing this season might be one of the most impressive developments of his entire career. Ohtani isn't just pitching well. He's pitching smarter, more efficiently, and in some ways, differently than before. After recovering from major elbow surgery and spending significant time rebuilding his arm strength, many people wondered what kind of pitcher he would be when he returned. Would he still have the same velocity? Would he trust his secondary pitches? Could he dominate hitters the way he did before the injury? So far, the answer appears to be a resounding yes. What's especially interesting is that Ohtani hasn't simply returned to the mound and tried to be the exact same pitcher he was years ago. Instead, observers have noticed several subtle adjustments in his approach. Sometimes the biggest improvements in baseball aren't dramatic changes. They're small refinements that make an elite player even more effective. One of the most talked about adjustments has been his pitch selection. Early in the season, analysts noticed that Ohtani appeared to be mixing his pitches differently than in previous years. Rather than relying on the same patterns hitters were used to seeing, he began using a slightly altered pitch mix designed to keep opponents guessing. That may not sound like a huge deal, but at the major league level, unpredictability is everything. Hitters spend countless hours studying video, tracking tendencies, and preparing for specific pitch sequences. When a pitcher changes those patterns, it can completely alter the hitter's game plan. Another area where Ohtani seems to have improved is efficiency. Earlier in his career, there were times when his incredible stuff would overpower hitters, but high pitch counts could occasionally shorten his outings. This season, he appears more comfortable attacking the strike zone while still maintaining elite swing and miss ability. The results have been incredible. In his return to the mound this season, Ohtani immediately showed that his electric arsenal was still intact. His fastball remained explosive, his breaking pitches generated awkward swings, and hitters struggled to make solid contact. Analysts covering his debut noted that his stuff looked every bit as dangerous as before the surgery. But velocity alone doesn't explain his dominance. The biggest difference may be his ability to combine power with precision. Elite pitching isn't simply about throwing hard. It's about locating pitches, changing eye levels, and disrupting timing. Ohtani seems to be doing all of those things exceptionally well. Hitters often talk about how difficult it is to prepare for pitchers who can attack multiple areas of the strike zone. Ohtani has become particularly effective at keeping batters uncomfortable. One pitch might be elevated near the top of the zone. The next could dive sharply below it. Then comes a breaking ball, moving in an entirely different direction. That constant uncertainty creates hesitation, and hesitation is deadly for hitters facing someone who throws as hard as Ohtani. The numbers support what fans are seeing. As the season has progressed, Ohtani has established himself as one of baseball's most dominant pitchers. His earned run average has remained among the best in the sport, and he has consistently limited scoring opportunities for opposing teams. Through his first 10 starts, he posted a remarkable ERA while striking out hitters at an elite rate and allowing very little hard contact. Perhaps even more impressive is the way he's been stringing together quality performances. Dominant pitchers don't just have one great outing. They perform at a high level repeatedly. Ohtani has done exactly that. At one point this season, he allowed only one run over a 4-start stretch covering 24 innings. That's the kind of consistency that separates good pitchers from Cy Young contenders. What's remarkable is that he's doing all of this while continuing to be one of baseball's most dangerous hitters. Think about the challenge involved. Most starting pitchers spend the days between starts focused entirely on recovery, scouting reports, bullpen sessions, and physical preparation. Position players focus on hitting, defense, and daily game responsibilities. Ohtani is doing both. He's preparing to face hitters while simultaneously preparing to face opposing pitchers. He's maintaining a pitching program while remaining an everyday offensive force. No other player in modern baseball handles that workload at this level, and despite those demands, he continues to excel on both sides of the game. In fact, during some of his best pitching performances this season, he's also contributed significantly with the bat. One recent outing perfectly showcased his unique value. He delivered 6 strong innings on the mound while also reaching base multiple times offensively, helping lead his team to victory. That's what makes Ohtani different from every other star in baseball. When he takes the mound, he's not simply trying to prevent runs. He's also capable of creating them. Analysts have long debated whether Ohtani's greatest value comes from pitching or hitting. The reality is that the discussion misses the point. His true value comes from combining both skills at an elite level. He effectively gives his team 2 superstar players in one roster spot. This season may represent the most refined version of Ohtani we've ever seen. The raw talent has always been there. The triple-digit velocity has always been there. The devastating breaking pitches have always been there. What appears different now is the overall package. There is greater maturity in his pitch selection. There is more confidence in his sequencing. There is improved efficiency in his outings. And perhaps most importantly, there is a healthier, stronger version of Ohtani on the mound. When elite athletes recover from major injuries, they often discover new ways to succeed. They learn more about their bodies. They adjust their mechanics. They improve their understanding of strategy. Ohtani seems to be following that path. Rather than simply returning as the pitcher he once was, he may be evolving into an even better version of himself. If his current pace continues, the conversation around Ohtani will shift from whether he can successfully return from surgery to whether we're witnessing one of the greatest two-way seasons in baseball history. And considering everything he's already accomplished throughout his career, that's an incredible statement. For now, one thing is clear. Shohei Ohtani isn't just back on the mound. He's thriving. He's adapting. And once again, he's proving why he remains one of the most extraordinary athletes the sport has ever seen.